Hey, what's up guys? Today I'll show you a science fiction horror film, Mutants. Spoiler ahead, watch out and take care. The movie begins with a woman running into the woods. In the early summer, a virus turned people into zombies called mutants. The only hope for the people to survive is an infection-free military base called Noel. The woman who's running away from mutants manages to reach the road. Unfortunately, she's not the main protagonist, so she's hit by an ambulance and dies her shitty life. Inside the ambulance, there are 4 people: an emergency health worker named Sonia, her husband Marco, who's driving the vehicle, and 2 other police officers. One of the police officers is infected by the virus, but hasn't fully turned into a mutant yet. The policewoman orders Sonia to show her the policeman's wounds. Upon seeing that his condition is getting worse, the policewoman orders Sonia and Marco to bring the policeman out of the vehicle. The policewoman shoots her partner without hesitation. She then orders the 2 to clean and disinfect the ambulance. The 3 people continue on their way after cleaning the ambulance. Sonia asks the policewoman about the legitimacy of the base Noel, but the policewoman doesn't answer her directly. When they stop to rest for a while, Marco warns Sonia about the ruthlessness of the policewoman, but Sonia insists that they need the policewoman. After some time, they go to a gasoline station to fill up the ambulance, but the tank is empty. Sonia stays in the vehicle, while Marco and the policewoman search the area for supplies. The policewoman stumbles upon a room with dead bodies. Disgusted, she doesn't notice that someone is behind her. She is attacked and struggles to fend off herself. Marco hears the commotion and finds the policewoman on the ground with what seems to be a mutant. She orders Marco to shoot it, but he can't do it and smacks the attacker in the face instead. Luckily, it turns out that the attacker is not a mutant. Sonia arrives and attends to the man. She tells the others that the man has autism and is afraid. Sonia wants to take the man with them, but the policewoman opposes her. Their argument heats up, and the policewoman raises her gun, demanding them to give the vehicle's key to her. Marco also raises his gun to protect his wife and declines to give her the keys. Afraid of what he's seeing, the autistic man attacks the policewoman. The policewoman pushes the man to Marco and shoots him. Sonia quickly picks up the gun and shoots the policewoman in the neck to defend themselves. Losing consciousness, the policewoman blindly fires a round, accidentally shooting Marco in the stomach. Sonia quickly attends to her husband. Marco points to the policewoman in the back, who is about to shoot them. Sonia quickly acts and shoots the policewoman in the face, finally killing her. Sonia and Marco go back to the ambulance where Sonia treats his wound, but he loses consciousness. Sonia then hears mutants growling from a distance. She quickly runs to the driver's seat and speeds off. Unfortunately, the ambulance runs out of gasoline. With no other choice, the 2 seek refuge in an abandoned building in the middle of the forest. After cleaning up Marco and his wound, Sonia sets out to search for the power fuse box. The scene changes to the couple body resting, not muscle wrestling, when Sonia hears a helicopter flying over them. This gives Sonia hope that they can be saved. But while cuddling with her sleeping husband, she notices that Marco's hair is falling as she strokes it. Morning comes, and a nightmare about a mutant wakes up Marco. Meanwhile, Sonia is back in the ambulance, trying to send an emergency call to the military base. But all she hears is an inaudible radio transmission. Suddenly, Marco appears in the window, which scares the shit out of Sonia. Back in the building, Sonia tells Marco that she has already made contact with Noel. She's quite confident that the message reached the base and they will be rescued. But Marco reminds her not to trust anyone. Sonia checks on his wound, but her expression changes. They remember that Marco ingested the autistic man's blood when the policewoman shot his head the other day, but Sonia doesn't want to talk about it. She changes the topic and tells her husband that there might be some bandits who will come after them if they somehow intercepted her call. The 2 go up to the rooftop and light a fire to wait for their rescue chopper. They go back inside the building afterward, but Marco starts coughing blood. Sonia helplessly watches as her husband suffers. It turns out the autistic man from before was infected by the virus. But just like other viruses, some people are genetically immune to the virus that turns people into bloodthirsty and cannibal zombies. However, when Marco ingested the infected blood of the autistic man, he got infected too, even without getting bitten. Marco loses consciousness after a severe convulsion and coughing blood. When he wakes up, the 2 talk about the virus. Sonia thinks that the virus in Marco's body is still in its vegetative stage and that he only has 3 days or less before it finally consumes him. Marco looks awful, but Sonia fearlessly approaches him. She assures him that help is on its way. Scared, Marco begs Sonia not to leave him to be a mutant. Stressed, Marco strokes his hand to his hair. That's when he discovers that his hair is falling off. It seems that Marco rather wants to be dead than bald, so he quickly grabs the shotgun. He plans to blow his hairy head off, but Sonia stops him. Then, Sonia shows him a bite wound she got just before the quarantine happened. One of the infected patients she was attending to bit her, but she didn't turn into a mutant. Therefore, just like the autistic man, Sonia is also genetically immune to the virus. She believes that with the help of scientists, they can make an antidote out of her and Marco will be cured. She slowly approaches him and takes away the gun. Sonia hugs Marco and assures him that she will always be with him. As time passes by, the virus slowly consumes Marco. Later on, Marco starts looking for morphine, but Sonia doesn't want to give him morphine anymore. Marco becomes aggressive and tries to attack Sonia. Although he manages to pull through, he grabs a gun and points it at her. Sonia runs away in fear. Marco screams in agony and stumbles on his way to the comfort room. Even his pee is blood at this point. When the situation calms down, Sonia transfers her blood to Marco. She makes a small cut to his feet to drain some infected blood from him. Then she begins the blood transfusion. She thinks that her immune blood might help her husband and feels that it's worth trying, but it seems to have no positive effect at all. Marco accidentally steps on the container of his blood, splashing some of it into Sonia's mouth. Sonia quickly goes to the bathroom to clean off Marco's blood, but she doesn't know that Marco is following her. Sonia gets scared when she sees her husband naked and covered in blood. Noticing that the man in front of him is no longer her sane husband, Sonia immediately runs away. Marco chases her, and she luckily locks him out of the kitchen. Marco shouts at her to open the door while he's banging it with his full strength. Sonia then grabs a butcher knife to protect herself. When the banging stops, she slowly approaches the door and hears her husband apologizing. Marco breaks down and tells his wife that he can no longer control herself. Being the lovely wife she is, she puts down her knife, opens the door, and hugs her husband. Later, the two finally decide to end Marco's suffering. Sonia plans to euthanize Marco. She injects him with the first drug, which makes him fall asleep, but she changes her mind and doesn't proceed with the second drug, which will finally kill Marco. Instead, she drags him to the basement and locks him in. It's apparent that love really takes away logical thinking from people sometimes. Then she packs up her things, but suddenly hears a noise outside. She heads out and investigates it herself, when suddenly a gun's butt gives her a kiss on the face, knocking her out. When she wakes up, she thinks that she's talking to a soldier from Noah, but they're not. These people are the Bandits, and they indeed intercepted her call for help to the military base before. They ask for the keys to the ambulance, but Sonia lies that she doesn't know where it is. She also mentions that it has no fuel, so even though they can get the keys, it's still useless. The female bandit thinks Sonia is fooling them, so she asks where the other person is, pertaining to Marco. Sonia invents a story that she lied through the radio and that she is actually alone. The woman is about to attack Sonia when the leader of the bandits stops her and orders her to make him a cup of coffee. He then takes Sonia to one of his men, who's injured after their fight with the mutants, to attend to his wounds. Afterward, the female bandit flirts with her leader. She convinces him to take the ambulance and flee with her. Meanwhile, Sonia asks about the radio that the wounded bandit is holding. The bandit says that their radio can only receive a transmission, but not send one. Sonia tells him about the military base Noah, but the man doesn't trust them. On the side of the room, another bandit named Mr. Baldy notices Sonia's bite wound, but he doesn't say a thing. The leader comes back and orders Sonia and Mr. Baldy to gather fuel in the morning. After some time, Sonia sneaks into the basement, but she's caught by Mr. Baldy. He holds his machete to her neck and inspects her after she confirms that she's infected. She also reveals to the man that she's expecting a bald baby. Hearing this, Mr. Baldy lets go of her. Realizing that Mr. Baldy is not a bad person, Sonia makes a deal with him. In exchange for letting her use the radio from the bandits' hideout, she will give him the keys to the ambulance for him to properly bury his family. When morning comes, Sonia and Mr. Baldy head out. They reach the bandits' hideout, and Sonia gives the ambulance's key to Mr. Baldy, while she quickly heads to the radio. As Sonia calls for an emergency evacuation and Mr. Baldy collects fuel, they hear a noise from a distance. The bandit picks up his machete and inspects the source of the noise. A mutant appears suddenly and attacks Mr. Baldy. The two square off. Sonia tries to help Mr. Baldy, but she can't get a clear shot, possibly because the mutant is also bald like Mr. Baldy. In the end, Mr. Baldy takes down the mutant by stabbing a hook into its chick neck, rather than its bald head. Unfortunately, he is also bitten by the mutant during their battle. Sonia points her gun at Mr. Baldy, but she can't afford to shoot him. Shortly after, they hear multiple mutants growling and running toward them. Fortunately, not killing Mr. Baldy benefits Sonia, as the man tries to defend them by throwing Molotov grenades and fighting the mutants head-on. As a last resort to convince the military to rescue her, Sonia reveals to them that she's immune to the virus. Afterward, she tries to help Mr. Baldy, but she runs out of ammo. With no other choice, Sonia runs back to the building while the mutants eat Mr. Baldy and his bald head. A mutant is about to get to Sonia, but the leader shoots it. Meanwhile, Marco has fully turned into a mutant. As the leader drags Sonia inside, he starts hitting her, looking for the fuel and keys. He then grabs the shotgun from the female bandit when Sonia calls out for her husband. Hearing Sonia's agony, Marco growls loudly that even the leader and his woman hear it. The female bandit is terrified, but what's worse, many mutants are now on their way to the building. The two bandits leave Sonia and barricade the room where the wounded bandit is. The mutants storm inside the building. Their barricades become useless as the mutants easily get inside the room. The leader and female bandit leave the wounded fellow, but Sonia doesn't hesitate to help him. Meanwhile, Marco tries to open the door with all his strength. Because the door is old and rusty, it doesn't take a while before he manages to force it open. Back to the leader and female bandit, they go to a library and cover themselves by throwing a smoke grenade. But when the woman is spotted by a mutant, the leader immediately closes the door on her, leaving her to die. Unfortunately for him, a big fat mutant is already staring down at him. The mutant wastes no time and drags the bandit leader to eat him and his smelly part. Meanwhile, Sonia and the wounded bandit are suddenly attacked by Marco. Sonia picks up the gun, but when she realizes that it is her husband, she once again fails to take him down. She helplessly watches as Marco punches the wounded bandit to death and eats him. Upon seeing Sonia, Marco immediately chases after her. She enters a room and closes the door on him. Mustering all her courage, Sonia finally manages to shoot her husband. But when she inspects outside, he's nowhere to be found. Sonia then hears the radio that her call for evacuation was confirmed. With 12 minutes before the estimated time of arrival, Sonia prepares herself for 12 minutes of hell. She silently makes her way through the building, but fighting off mutants is unavoidable. A mutant catches her off guard, but with some miracle, Marco fights off the mutant for Sonia. She then spots a vent and quickly goes in there. She reaches the end of the vent that leads outside, but the area is surrounded by metal fences and it's locked on the outside. What's worse, Marco is on her tail. Cornered, Sonia can't do anything as Marco makes his way to her. But for some hormone reason, Marco is not harming Sonia. Instead, he kneels and stares at Sonia's sexy face and womb, back and forth. Collecting all her courage, Sonia pushes off her zombie husband. Luckily, he's caught in barbed wires, restricting his movements. Picking up a broken tube, Sonia finally takes out Marco. Afterward, the mutants surround the fence, but they are quickly taken down by the military. The movie ends with Sonia finally getting rescued, as a soldier assures her that they will take care of her and her baby. This is Daniel CC Movie Channel. Stay safe and enjoy your day.